When we think about the world of reality television, we often think about big personalities, loud arguments, and people who are trying very hard to get our attention. But every once in a while, a star comes along who wins our hearts just by being themselves. One of those people is the lovely Mary Padian. If you have ever watched the show Storage Wars, you definitely know who she is. She is the girl with the big smile, the quirky ideas, and the amazing ability to turn trash into treasure. Most of the time, we see her in her work clothes, digging through dusty storage lockers and getting excited about old furniture. But recently, a set of photos of Mary at the beach has taken the internet by storm. Fans were used to seeing her in jeans and boots, so when she stepped out in a bikini that some people are calling the wrong choice, it left everyone talking. You really need to watch this video until the very end, because we're going to look at these photos and explain why this moment became such a huge deal for her fans, and why it truly is a feast for your eyes. Mary Padian first became famous when she joined the cast of Storage Wars, Texas, and later moved over to the main show in California. From the very first moment she appeared on screen, people could tell she was different. While other buyers were aggressive and mean to each other, Mary was always positive. She had a unique way of looking at things. She didn't just see a broken chair, she saw a piece of art waiting to happen. Her shop, Mary's Finds, became a place where her imagination came to life. Because she was so sweet and focused on her craft, many fans started to see her as a younger sister or a best friend. She had this girl-next-door image that made her very relatable. This is why the beach photos caused such a shock. People realized that Mary was no longer just the junkster girl. She was a grown woman who was confident in her own skin. For a long time, Mary's fashion was very simple. She wore things that were practical for her job. You can't really wear fancy dresses when you are lifting heavy boxes and dealing with cobwebs. Her style was cute, but it was always modest and functional. However, as she became more famous, she started to share more of her personal life on social media. She started posting photos of her travels, her friends, and her life outside of the storage auctions. But nothing prepared the fans for the beach trip that changed everything. When she posted photos of herself in a bikini, the reaction was massive. Some people said she chose the wrong outfit because it was so different from her usual style, while others couldn't stop talking about how amazing she looked. It was a moment where her public image and her real life collided in a way that left everyone gasping. The reason some people use the phrase, "she chose the wrong bikini," is because it was such a bold and unexpected move for someone with her reputation. In the world of celebrity gossip, people love to talk about fashion mistakes. But in Mary's case, it wasn't really a mistake at all. It was a choice to be bold. The bikini she wore was bright, stylish, and showed off a side of her that the cameras on her TV show never captured. She looked incredibly fit and healthy. For years, she had been hiding her athletic figure under baggy shirts and work jackets. Seeing her on the sand, enjoying the sun and the water, was a reminder that she is more than just a character on a screen. It was a feast for the eyes because it showed her natural beauty in a way that felt very authentic and raw. One of the most interesting things about Mary Padian is her energy. She has this high-pitched, excited voice and a lot of movement when she talks. This same energy is visible in her beach photos. She doesn't just sit still, she is active and full of life. This is part of what makes the photos so captivating. She isn't trying to pose like a professional model, she is just being Mary. She is laughing, playing in the waves, and soaking up the sun. This sense of genuine happiness is something you can't fake. It's a big reason why her fans are so loyal. They feel like they are seeing the real her, not a version of her that was created by a TV producer. Make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to talk about how she maintains that incredible energy and her fitness secrets. As the photos went viral, the internet did what it always does. It started a huge conversation. Some people were surprised by how glamorous she could look. They were used to seeing her with messy hair and dust on her face. To see her with the ocean as her background, looking like a Hollywood star, was a big shift. This is a common thing that happens to reality stars. People get so used to seeing them in one setting that they forget they have a whole other life. For Mary, this beach moment was her way of saying that she can be both. She can be the girl who finds treasure in a locker, and she can be the woman who turns heads at the beach. It was a powerful statement of self-confidence. But why did some critics say it was the wrong choice? Usually, when people say a celebrity chose the wrong outfit, they mean it was too small, too bright, or just didn't fit the occasion. But in the world of internet headlines, wrong often just means shocking. It was wrong because it broke the rules of what people expected from her. It was a feast for the eyeballs because it was so visually stunning and unexpected. Mary has always been someone who follows her own heart, whether she is picking out an old lamp or picking out a swimsuit. She doesn't look for approval from others. She wears what makes her feel good, and in these photos, you can tell she feels great. This confidence is what really makes her stand out. It is also important to talk about the physical work Mary does. Being a professional treasure hunter is not easy. It involves a lot of physical labor. She is constantly moving, lifting, and walking. This active lifestyle is clearly the secret to her fitness. She doesn't seem like the type of person who spends all day in a gym on a treadmill. Instead, her body is a reflection of her hard work and her love for life. When you see her in a bikini, you see the muscles of someone who is actually strong, not just someone who wants to look thin. This is a very healthy image to project, especially for her younger fans. She shows that being active and working hard can lead to feeling and looking your best. Another reason these photos became such a big deal is because of how Mary handled the attention. She didn't hide away or feel embarrassed by the viral comments. She continued to be herself. She has a very positive outlook on life, which is something she has talked about in many interviews. She believes in finding the good in every situation. This philosophy clearly extends to her body image. She is proud of who she is, and she isn't afraid to show it. In a world where so many people are afraid of being judged, Mary's wrong bikini choice was actually a very right moment for her personal growth. It showed that she is a woman who is in control of her own story. As we look closer at these images, we can see the joy in her eyes. There is something very special about a person who can be famous but still seems so grounded. Mary hasn't let the fame change her core personality. She is still that same girl from Texas who loves to find hidden gems. The only difference is that now the whole world is watching her. Whether she is in a dusty warehouse or on a beautiful beach, she brings the same light and positivity to everything she does. That is the true feast for the eyes, seeing someone who is genuinely happy and comfortable with who they are. Now, I want to talk about the final part of the story, which is why you need to stay until the very end. There is a specific photo from this beach trip that many people missed, and it tells the biggest story of all. It's not just about the bikini or the beach. It's about a moment of quiet reflection. In this photo, Mary is looking out at the ocean, away from the cameras and the noise. It shows a side of her that is peaceful and calm. This is the Mary Padian that her true fans love the most. She is a dreamer. She is someone who looks at the vast ocean and probably sees a million new possibilities, just like she does when she opens a storage locker. As you finish watching, think about what it means to be confident. Mary Padian showed us that confidence isn't about being perfect, it's about being yourself. She didn't care if the bikini was what people expected. She cared that she was having a good time and feeling strong. That is a lesson we can all take home with us. We hope you enjoyed this look at Mary's viral beach moment and the story behind it. She truly is a treasure, and we can't wait to see what she finds next, whether it's in a storage unit or on her next big adventure. Stay tuned for more stories about your favorite stars, and remember to always look for the beauty in the unexpected.